offenses on the gridiron today. It's Dalton's Bengals going up against Roethlisberger's Steelers. So for the call of this Week 13 matchup, let's bring in our commentary team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the steel capital of the world, Pittsburgh, PA, at Heinz Field. Today, we've got a Week 13 matchup for you here between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Pittsburgh Steelers. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. Charles, we look at this Steeler ball club entering play. They have certainly got it rolling of late. Winners of 6 in a row.
And it's simple. The more you win in the regular season, the more likely you play at home in the postseason, and that can take you deep into January.
Meanwhile, for the Bengals here, they've come in on a nice run of recent form. 4 wins out of 5. The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. And on the return, here comes Adam Jones. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Here come the Bengals now to take over. They'll be led out by the Red Rifle. From TCU, it's Andy Dalton.
This is a young man who has a lot of quiet confidence in his abilities. He won't shout it from the rooftops, but if you ever talk to him, you sense it, and you start to get it. In fact, I asked him about his mobility, and he said, well, I did run for over 1,500 yards in college. That was an easy answer from him.
Now a first carry for Giovanni Bernard. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. First drive for this offense today, and our first chance to get a look at Tyler Eifert.
And he's part of the new wave of tight ends in the NFL. They use them in every position, sometimes even by themselves as a wide receiver.
Second down to the offense, needing 5 yards. Again, here's Bernard. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
So the offense has it 1st and 10. Dalton gives to Bernard. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I can't help it. I'm just sitting back in admiration right now. This defense tells everyone that plays against them, you're not beating us running the football. That's who we are. That's what we're about. It's not going to happen. If you're going to beat us, you better pick another way.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
Anytime a team goes on the road, there's always that little bit of fear that maybe they can be affected by the hometown crowd. But this is where game planning really came into play. They talked about it all week. Go in there, establish yourselves. Well, that run right there, that slows down the crowd and gives them a lot of confidence.
So it'll be first down here after the run. Now the second-year man from South Dakota State, it's Zach Zenner. A gain of 3, 2nd down. And the starting defensive unit here for Pittsburgh.
DeMarcus Ware may be a veteran, but he's not just a wily one. He's a terrific producer. Still extremely difficult to block when he's rushing the passer.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. It's Big Vince Williams who made the tackle. Yeah, I think the blitz there really disrupted the draw.
Yeah, and it's usually when you catch them in a blitz, the draw works pretty well. If you're the offensive coordinator right now, That's visor throwing time, isn't it? Because that's supposed to work in a big way.
Defense thinking pass. They've got the nickel set out on 3rd and 6. Here's Dalton, and Eifert has it. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely. I mean, size, the hands.
Speed. I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
Now a carry for Bernard. And room there to work it inside the 25. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
On the run at center. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25.
I think Cameron Hayward's ability to take on blocks, hold the point of attack, and get upfield serves him very, very well. What a nice play there.
Yeah, he can take on blocks because he's built like a block. And they brought in an extra defensive back here, so probably not expecting a run on 3rd and 3.
A good call.
Andy Dalton. And this is going to be incomplete. Giovanni Bernard, the intended receiver, out of the backfield. And it's now 4th and 3.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And they're able to pick up the conversion here on 4th down. Dipping into the bag of tricks early opening drive. How about that?
Wouldn't you love to get a look at the head coach's play sheet right now, right, his call sheet? Because somewhere in there, probably in big, bold letters, are the old high school cheer.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. So holding by the offense, and maybe now got to shift up what you want to do on the playbook.
Yeah, definitely. Change what you're doing in the playbook, but boy, the advantage shifts to the guys on defense, doesn't it? Longer yardage situations, they often become bolder.
Out of the gun, it's Dalton. To the left side here for Eifert. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. A long drive here, play 12 coming up for the offense. So 1 quarter in the books on a cold December afternoon. Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Bengals with the football to begin quarter number 2. But they face a 2nd and long to start things out. Here's Bernard. And he is going to lose yardage here. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
And as we've seen throughout this season, it's no picnic trying to score touchdowns against this unit. They're ranked number 1 against the run. But it's also difficult because it's not easy to throw the ball against them either.
3rd and long. What will Dalton dial up? And he can't bring it in. Incomplete. He dropped it on the crossing route. 4th down now.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
And Lambeau will put this one through, and the Bengals are on the board first here. It's 3-0. So a 15-play drive. Can't believe that only resulted in 3, but it did.
That is somewhat amazing, isn't it? When you hold the ball that long, run offense that well, yet only put 3 points on the board, it has to be a little bit of a disappointment, doesn't it?
Has to. It's a short kick, taking it to 15. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. a play fake here on first down. And this will complete to Marcus Wheaton. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
Offense.
And that penalty will wipe out a big gain by the offense. It's a loss of 10 yards on the play. Brown, the lone receiver, left. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. This is caught by Antonio Brown. That one goes for 24 yards. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there.
The defense won that play so fast that I think if the running back even had time to notice if anyone was there, it was just a blink of an eye, and there was a loss on the play.
To throw here, Roethlisberger. Marcus Wheaton was the one he was looking for. And it'll bring up third down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. And it's complete to Ladarius Green. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a fourth down.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to...
And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The Bengal offense now gets set to head back out onto the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had a field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
So 2nd and 10 here. They'll run it now out of the gun. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. Cameron Hayward in on the tackle.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there.
The Steelers insert their nickel defense on third down.
Yeah, they add a DB. Looking deep downfield. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. And he does take it in for the touchdown, but a flag on the field, and I don't think this is going to stand.
Yeah, don't put the points on the board just yet.
Holding offense.
So a little grabbing there, but this time it goes against the offense for holding. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Now Dalton underneath. This is Bernard. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. Give him 9 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back to Heinz Field after this. A reminder that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll check in with Larry Ridley in Orlando with highlights and analysis of this first half of play.
And I'm going to check in with a heater.
I'm going to be right there with you, partner. So now the Cincinnati native, also former Bearcat, and now a Bengal, Kevin Huber, to punt it away. Back deep for the Steelers, Marcus Wheaton. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. Pretty woeful there. Just 23 yards on the punt. And the Steeler offense, they're set up nicely as they take over. Now the Bengals defense readies as they head onto the field. On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. Hauled in by Wheaton over the middle. And he's going to get this inside the 30. A good pickup there of 20 yards. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. On 1st down, it's Roethlisberger. Over the middle here to Brown. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has a slide and find open space to throw.
Here's Roethlisberger. That is caught. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Martavis Bryant with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Steelers have taken the lead.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Already looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk is...
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. 2nd down now after the pass completion. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. Dalton throwing on 2nd down. This one grabbed by A.J. Green. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Dalton, 1st and 10. His throw incomplete. Tyler Boyd, the former Pitt Panther, was the target. And now it's 2nd down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. Passing. It's Dalton. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. It'll be a gain of 9, and it'll be 2nd and about a yard to go for the first. Dalton now to pass. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field, it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
Dalton. And Eifert has it. And he will have a first down at about the 21-yard line. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. He hit his first, this one from 38. And Lambeau will put this one through, and they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So a field goal here. They're still down, but they put a dent into that lead before the break.
And that's got to feel good, because now they've seen that they can put some more points on the board, and that gives them a whole second half to get back to where they want to be, and that's in the lead.
Now after the made field goal, back out Lambeau to kick this one off. This will be taken about the 12. And they're going to to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So we reach halftime here in the Steel City with the Steelers on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando as we check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Larry?
Thanks, Brandon. I'm Larry Ridley, and welcome to our EA Halftime Report. The Steelers haven't had the same success as last week through the air. The Bengals have obviously played a role in that, as they've done what they've needed to in order to slow that part of the game down. So here we go. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. Late in the first quarter, and he'll end up at the 15-yard line before being tackled. Bengals, as though, would settle for just a field goal. Late in the second, Bryant's the target here, and this two-play drive goes for a touchdown. The lead grows to 4. Staying late in the second, Dalton's completion is made out of the gun, and the play will come to an end after a gain of 20. They go on to kick a field goal to end the drive. We're set up for a great second half, so let's get you out to it. Here's Brandon Godden.
So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. It's a short kick, taken at the 15. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their...
Antonio Brown, kiss him goodbye. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Antonio Brown, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead. Good pass, clean catch, and a house call there on the fly route.
And not that much room to operate. So that tells you about his acceleration. We always talk about being able to go from 0 to 60 real fast. It took him less time than that to get the top speed and complete that play.
And it's up. It's good. Our score, 14-6. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. A look at the offense now here, coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. They go play action here on first down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. They bring a man off the corner that time, and he gets home for a loss of 6.
The game plan for any defense is finding ways to make a quarterback uncomfortable in the pocket. And you bring pressure from all angles, you never know who's going to get home. In this case, the left cornerback, right in the face of him, puts him down.
And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Stephon Tuitt in there to drop him, and sacks on first and second downs are going to lead to a 3rd and long.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say. When you have obvious passing situations, hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
Here's Dalton. And the grab by Croft. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line.
Holding offense. That penalty is declined.
Here's Kevin Huber now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. And here's a very low line drive, almost whiffed on it. Officially just 27 yards there on the punt. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One-play drive, long pass. Maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one-play drive is exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
And we'll see if it's that easy here. So deja vu all over again. Another good week. And sometimes maybe, because the defense doesn't look that bad, maybe this is just good offense beating good defense in his case.
I like that because we always want to point out that there's a breakdown or someone made a mistake or there was an error. Sometimes it's exactly as you described it. Sometimes they just made better plays. And that's what he's been doing for the last 2 weeks. Someone's got to find a way to cover this guy. Otherwise, he may set some records.
And it's incomplete.
Holding offense.
So there you go, holding by the offense, and that'll push him back.
Changes everything now as you try and figure out what your playbook has for you. Longer yardage situations, tougher to execute and pick up first downs.
Over the middle here to Brown. And he's taken down, but not before he gets us into enemy territory across the 40. Charles, you think Big Ben is happy to have Antonio Brown on the other side of his passes?
You know he is, but he also expects it. This is how their offense runs best. When those two get together, especially early, and continue to do it throughout the game, the end result is the one that we're seeing right now. They're ahead on the board.
It has been early and often.
Brandon, that play ended so fast, it's almost as if the quarterback handed it to the runner, and the tackler was there right away for a loss of yardage.
Brown, the lone receiver, left. On second down, here's Roethlisberger. Wheaton with a catch right side. Call it a gain of 13 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
And they'll keep it on the ground with Bell. And he's going to bring this one down to right about the 20-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. And third quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you've stopped the clock and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding the clock.
It goes as a gain of 8 and it moves the chains. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Pittsburgh. It's Steeler football, and they have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4. They'll come out in the pistol. Now a first down carry by Bell. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. And in this situation with the lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
It's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
He was trying to find Ladarius Green there as tight end, and that'll make it third down.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team. Slants are so tough to cover because everything happens so fast. But sometimes it happens too fast for the guy catching the ball because all of his movements have to be quick off the line of scrimmage, and then all of a sudden the ball's right on top of you. And maybe he got a little bit ahead of himself there.
Yeah, a lot of times coming in with good pace, and he dropped it. So a big one there is that gives him a little cushion.
And you know, here in the fourth quarter, the fact that they were able to bleed some time off the clock and put points on the board, even if it's only 3, that could turn out to be the drive that ultimately wins them the game.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Now Jones. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. The Bengals getting set to go. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time. One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
There's nothing like getting out of the gate and finding your favorite target. Andy Dalton just did that with A.J. Green.
And some people call that a nice fantasy football connection as well.
Yeah, they're piling up the points that way, and they want to see that continue.
Now Dalton with a 1st and 10. Surveying the field. He gets it left side to Johnson. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
They send Green to the left on his own. Dalton, 1st and 10. Finding time. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. The wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. And a short gain down to about the 33. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
He's got his man here. It's Green. And that one good for 16 yards and a 1st. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified. Big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
Dalton operating in the red zone now. Can't find anyone open. Still back there. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up second down. They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You're dropping 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2, now third down. 9th play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. Third down, a shot here for Dalton. That is caught at the 7. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence. And that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
Now Bernard hammering for the goal line. He loses the football. Time for a break. And it's picked up by the Steelers. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. Now the Steelers offense gets ready to get back onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're numb to plays that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But you also have to remember, they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Bryant, the lone receiver, left. Oh, Roethlisberger going to throw. Complete to Wheaton. It's a gain of 14 there. And that'll be good for a Pittsburgh first. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's...
And now the Bengal defense here calling a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And the offense moving in the wrong direction here now as they face a 2nd and 12. Now Roethlisberger to throw on 2nd down. Wheaton's got it. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. And now the Bengals are going to call another timeout. That'll be their 2nd, so 1 more chance to stop the clock here. And we'll be back. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Again, we'll see the pistol here. Here's Roethlisberger. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
They'll go back to the ground with Bell. And he's going to be brought down at about the 33-yard line. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. And I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for it with Bell. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
Everyone understood their role on that play. 3rd and 1. You know the defensive guys, they're trying to get down and get low and get leverage on the offensive linemen, but they didn't allow that to happen. They created a crease and allowed him to get through for a first down.
And this is what here? Incomplete, they say. Looked like it was intercepted, but he apparently did not get the 2 feet down in bounds. All right, Charles, as a former defensive back, how disheartening to actually catch it but just not be able to stay in bounds there defensively.
Well, extremely, because you know the rap against us defenders is that they're frustrated offensive guys who can't catch. And he caught it. Just couldn't get his feet down in bounds. It's that second part that finished off the play for him.
It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. Red zone opportunity.
There's no doubt about it. That's just one of the best connections in the league. Big Ben throwing it to Antonio Brown, and Antonio Brown has turned himself into such a player. A low-round draft pick, but you can't beat his determination or work ethic, and Big Ben welcomes that.
And Big Ben won a Super Bowl at 23, youngest ever to do so, has never looked back. And a really long drive here, and it goes on and on. On second down, it's Bell. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
On 3rd down, here's Bell. And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Le'Veon Bell. His 11th touchdown of the year. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. So that drive, 12 plays in length. And it ends with a Le'Veon Bell touchdown run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Now Jones. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. And out now, here come the Bengals. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team. And
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Ryan Shazier in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. And, Charles, you know what coaches always tell us. We want to win our home games. That much we know. We want to protect our home turf. They got that done in this one.
Exactly right. When you start a season, everyone's goal, win all of your home games, split your road games, and you're likely going to be in the playoffs. But when you win at home, boy, what a great feeling that is. You don't even mind if people are at your house when you get home after a win like that.
So for